Just 2 days ago, Tesla quietly removed the rear-wheel-drive Cybertruck from its online configurator. This wasn't announced with fanfare. No press release, no explanation. The base model simply vanished, leaving customers with two options: the $82,235 all-wheel drive model, or the top-tier Cyberbeast at $117,235. Now here's the timeline that makes this particularly interesting. The rear-wheel drive variant was only introduced in April 2025, that's barely 5 months ago. Tesla launched it as a response to criticism about the Cybertruck's high price point, starting at $69,990 instead of the AWD model's $82,235. That's a significant $12,245 price difference that's now completely off the table. But here's where it gets interesting. The rear-wheel drive model wasn't just cheaper because it had one less motor. Tesla stripped out several key features to hit that lower price point. You lost the tonneau cover for the bed, the active air suspension that gives the truck its impressive ride quality, and all the power outlets in the bed that many buyers were excited about. The headlights were downgraded, and the cabin came with fewer premium features. So essentially, Tesla created a significantly compromised version of the Cybertruck to meet a price point, and even then, it seems like customers weren't biting. Let's talk numbers, because they tell a pretty stark story. Before the Cybertruck launched, Tesla claimed to have over 1 million reservations. Elon Musk talked about scaling production to between 250,000 and 500,000 units per year. Those are some seriously ambitious figures. Reality? Tesla sold approximately 38,965 Cybertrucks in all of 2024. That's less than 40,000 units. And 2025 hasn't been much better. In the first half of this year, they've managed about 10,712 units. To put that in perspective, that's roughly 50% down from the same period last year. The second quarter of 2025 was particularly rough, with only 4,306 Cybertrucks sold. That's a 32% drop from the first quarter, and a massive 50% drop year over year. These aren't the numbers of a vehicle that's flying off the production line. Now, before we declare the Cybertruck a complete failure, let's be fair. It did lead the electric truck market in 2024, outselling the Ford F-150 Lightning by about 5,000 units. But here's the thing. The entire electric truck market is pretty small. The Cybertruck's closest competitor, the F-150 Lightning, only sold 33,510 units in 2024, but by Q2 2025, the Cybertruck had fallen to third place in electric truck sales, behind both the Ford F-150 Lightning and the GMC Hummer EV. That's not the trajectory Tesla was hoping for. So why did the rear-wheel drive model fail so spectacularly that Tesla pulled it after just 5 months? I think it comes down to value proposition. At $69,990, you were still paying nearly $70,000 for a truck that was missing many of the features that made the Cybertruck appealing in the first place. Think about it. You're buying this futuristic-looking truck, but you're getting downgraded headlights, no air suspension, no bed cover, and no power outlets. For many potential buyers, those missing features probably made the AWD model seem like a much better deal, even at the higher price. There's another angle here that's particularly relevant right now. The federal $7,500 tax credit for EVs is set to expire on September 30th, 2025. The timing of Tesla pulling the RWD model, which was one of the few Cybertruck variants that qualified for this credit due to the $80,000 MSRP cap, seems more than coincidental. With the tax credit disappearing, the effective price difference between the RWD and AWD models was about to shrink significantly, making the more feature-rich AWD model an even more attractive option. From Tesla's perspective, this decision probably makes a lot of business sense. Why maintain a production line for a variant that's not selling well? Simplifying the lineup means they can focus their manufacturing resources on the models that customers actually want. It also reduces complexity in their supply chain and manufacturing processes. Instead of managing different component specifications for the RWD model, they can streamline operations around the two remaining variants. But there's a deeper issue here about market positioning. The Cybertruck was supposed to be Tesla's entry into the mainstream truck market, competing with vehicles like the Ford F-150. By removing the cheapest option, Tesla is essentially admitting that the Cybertruck is more of a premium, niche product than a mass-market vehicle. The current starting price of $82,235 puts the Cybertruck squarely in luxury pickup territory. competing more with high-end versions of traditional trucks, rather than appealing to mainstream truck buyers. This move highlights some broader challenges in the electric truck market. Despite years of hype and development, consumer adoption has been slower than many manufacturers hoped. The combination of high prices, range concerns, and charging infrastructure limitations has kept many traditional truck buyers on the sidelines. Tesla's experience with the Cybertruck mirrors what other manufacturers have seen. Ford has had to cut F-150 Lightning production multiple times due to slower than expected demand, and other manufacturers have delayed or scaled back their electric truck plans. There's also what I like to call the early adopter problem. The people who were most excited about the Cybertruck and willing to put down reservations were likely the same customers who were willing to pay for the higher trim models with all the bells and whistles. The mass market customers, who would be interested in a stripped-down, cheaper version, might not be ready to make the jump to electric trucks yet. So what does all this mean? Tesla's decision to discontinue the rear-wheel-drive Cybertruck after just 5 months is really a reality check for the company and the industry. The electric truck market isn't developing as quickly as many hoped, and even Tesla, with all its EV expertise and brand recognition, is struggling to find the right formula. For consumers, this means fewer options and higher prices if you want to get into a Cybertruck. For Tesla, it's a strategic retreat that allows them to focus on what's actually selling. And for the broader EV market, it's another reminder that the transition from internal combustion engines isn't happening overnight. The Cybertruck isn't a failure, it's still leading the electric truck market. But it's also not the revolutionary mass market vehicle that was promised 5 years ago. It's a niche product for early adopters and Tesla enthusiasts. And Tesla's recent decisions reflect that reality. What do you think? Is Tesla making the right move by streamlining the Cybertruck lineup? Or should they have stuck with the cheaper option to attract more buyers? Let me know in the comments below, and if you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more automotive industry analysis. I'll see you in the next one.